shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals who operate above the law.
Hey, it's me. Welcome to Trump Mafia. Now, if you haven't subbed yet, please go to the Truth Syndicate, Trump Mafia, the Truth Syndicate. It's a similar channel, and it's monetized, and it has about 10,000 subs, almost 10,000. So let's make the Truth Syndicate great again. Thank you so much. But I'm also here, even though it's demonetized, and YouTube really hates Trump Mafia. What can I tell you? And it's not just YouTube. They have third-party people at YouTube that are checking videos and channels. For example, the ADL or the Southern Law Poverty Center. And they don't like alt-right. They don't like people that really come out with, videos that really hit their sensitive spots, meaning liberals. And they're very sensitive. Now, of course, my channel is harmless. In fact, I self-censor so much. That's why YouTube cannot outright delete me, because, I never get strikes on videos. I had like one strike in a year, and it's expired. But unlike Alex Jones and InfoWars, when I get a strike on a video, I will not suddenly turn anti-Trump and start blasting Trump just to make liberals feel happy and please don't delete me, don't give me another strike. Look at me, I'm slamming Trump. I want to stay here on YouTube. I have not compromised myself in that way. But the end result is they will still find other ways to demotivate me by, for example, removing my privileges as YouTube partner, meaning I'm not a YouTube partner right now. And they came up with some stupid excuse like duplicate or whatever, and it's not true. It's fake. Just like last year, they deleted this channel for no reason. And it was spam or something like that, and of course it's not true, so they reinstated the channel. It's almost like they don't like what I say, but I'm not doing anything wrong, and so they try to find a way to somehow demotivate me or demonetize me. And it's not just demonetizing videos. They've been doing that for more than a year, but now it's really the whole channel. So even though I have 38,000 subs, they don't care. What they really want is for YouTube to be like representative of democratic values. And I can understand that. It's their website, they're left-wing, and they will have some conservatives that aren't touched. And like I said, many of them, they occasionally start slamming Trump just to signal to these liberals like, hey, I'm not part of the Trump cult, as it were. And they see that is not happening on my channel. There's a loyalty here, not just to President Trump, but everybody that voted for Trump and the Trump nation and American values. And that's really what it's all about. And so the media really tries to shut people up. Now, that's really what I want to talk about, and that is the media, celebrities, and athletes even. They're all part of an establishment that doesn't want the American people to have a voice. The whole Robert Mueller probe, it's really to try to cancel all those people that voted for Trump, to undo the result of an election. Anytime that liberals see that the people really have power and a voice, they want to snuff it out. And you see that even now in the Democratic Party, they saw that Bernie Sanders can really get people out and give people a voice, even though they're far left-wing people. Democrats and liberals, they don't like that. They want to snuff it out. So they're now putting up new rules that Bernie Sanders would not be able to run in 2020, and they're trying to purge all these Sanders people from the DNC. In fact, they did, because the Clintons put in a pro-Clinton person, Tom Perez. And so it's proof, once again, that when they see that people, ordinary people, have a voice and the ability to change something, they want to snuff it out. And so when did liberals become the establishment? When did they become the elites in ivory towers? And they're casting down judgments, and you have the same at YouTube, at Google. You have ultra-liberals with their liberal partners, and they're casting down judgments and, snuffing out the voice of the people and controlling things, like they're playing SimCity. And it's pretty bizarre, and it just always makes me think of what Joseph Stalin said. He said, people are insects. And you see that when you have people moving more to the left and getting control, they start to see people as insects or robots or zombies, and that they can control people. And they don't want people to have any type of control. And of course, they don't want people to have guns. And so it makes sense, and you wonder why ordinary people would want to be a part of that kind of attitude. I mean, there is something very evil about it, and you see that. And that's why the Trump presidency is so critical to our nation, because it's the personification, if you will, of every freedom that we fought for to become an independent nation. And so when people stick together, as they do, to fight for the nation, to preserve that independence and the freedom of we the people, liberals call that a cult, and they don't like it. But I read many articles from the 2000s and what liberals were saying about the Bush administration, and sometimes I really dig into things that happened in the past to understand why people are acting the way that they do now. And I saw in some liberal articles at the time that they were calling Bush supporters after 9/11 Bushies, and also referring to people that supported Bush before the Iraq War as Bushies and a cult. And now you see the same thing. And actually the way the media is attacking President Trump, it's very similar to how they attacked Ronald Reagan, but it was different. At the time you had a very anti-war Democratic Party ginning up all these people, and many of them were from the 60s anti-war movement, so you were able to organize protests in the street. So of course Nancy Pelosi recently said she doesn't understand why people aren't in the streets anymore, because most of those people that were from that era are like 90 years old, just like Nancy Pelosi herself. Because people don't feel that President Trump is a war hawk or somebody that is very callous, and neither was Reagan, but you have to play hardball. And so Democrats really are left with nothing, and so you have a media trying to preside over a kingdom of nothing. A kingdom of nothing with liberals in ivory towers, and they don't have an army. They don't have anything. And they just rely on past glories or past playbooks and talking points, but it doesn't work. And so when you see them beheading statues, or deleting conservatives, or canceling Roseanne on TV, and they're showing their power. We control the media. We control even sports. We control universities. But then it suddenly ends because it turns out they cannot control the people. Now, you can use celebrities to influence segments of people. You know, you have these so-called comedians on the late night shows, Stephen Colbert, Kimmel, and these types of people. And every night they're trying to convince people that Trump is stupid or retarded or evil. But it doesn't work. And you have athletes like LeBron James, Steph Curry, those types of people, influencing young people saying Trump is bad, Trump is evil, and it doesn't work. Now, some people will always be influenced, especially younger people, but that's okay. These people don't even vote. But even if you use all of your athletes, all of your celebrities and politicians on the left, you still cannot convince the majority of the nation that the country sucks, that Americans are inherently racist, that Trump is an evil person, or that Trump is incompetent in any way, because there's something called reality. And no matter how much they try to spin it, or lie about it, or assassinate the character of a person, it doesn't work. Because time after time again, people can see that the media is lying to them. Because even liberals know, and that's why they're sad people. They can see that the liberal media is lying to liberals. I mean, we know they're lying. We can see they're lying. It's obnoxious. It's annoying. And in some cases, it's damaging. But liberals know that the liberal media is also lying to them. I mean, they're so callous, they're lying to their own people every day. Because spinning the news, coming out with fake talking points and fake polls, what they're really doing is lying to their own people. And the reason is they don't respect anyone, and they don't like we the people. So they snuff out the voice of we the people, even if those people are liberals or Bernie Sanders supporters. They control the show. And so they don't mind to lie to liberal people, and that's why you can see that these people don't have any redeeming values at all. We're talking about people that are like King Louis and Marie Antoinette, and they're just waiting for the mob to arrive, and someday it will. Meanwhile, we have a people's president, Donald J. Trump, and he's not only a person that has a connection to people, it's also a person that is about doing things, performing, keeping promises, and making our nation a better place, no matter what these people in the ivory towers are saying, and it bothers them a great deal. So when liberals see that you have people that have a voice, for example, somebody who's a populist, and lots of people are listening to that person, they don't like it because they don't have control over the people. And when they see that people are voting for a person they don't approve of, they hate it. They want to undo the votes, and they will use a system, and that's what you've seen for almost 520 days, is that they don't care about the democratic process. They don't care about the U.S. Constitution or an election, and that's why they freely will cheat whenever they can, because they don't care about any rules or laws. It's all about control, and they really see people as being insects, even liberals. So when I see some of these clowns in the media, they're also part of the system. They're like, insects that are used to control other insects. And that's how the liberal overlords see them. They're like tools. So they're doing their best, right? Joe Scarborough is doing his best. Don Lemon is doing his best. Jake Tapper and These people are pathetic. I mean, you cannot even comprehend how they cannot understand that they're just tools, and that they're pathetic because they don't have an ounce of individuality, and they're just lying to their own people and trying to justify their own existence and for scraps. And it's not that genuine love. Now, all these lies that they're telling to their own people, liberals, these lies really come back to haunt them in some way. For example, all the fake news stories and fake polls in 2016. So what happens? You have these corrupt officials in the FBI doing these crimes based on the premise that Hillary will win, and they want to keep their jobs or get promoted, get brownie points. But you also have many liberal people. Many of them are innocent people. They just happen to be left-wing or liberal, and they're cheated by the media. They're cheated by these fake polls because they really believe it. And for more than 500 days, they were believing in this Russia collusion, that Trump really did collude with Russia, and that they really did not lose the election. And once again, it's liberals lying to liberals. And you saw the tears in 2016 after the election. Tears. I mean, they're crying, and most of it's because of shock. But a lot of it is anger. How could this happen? And so for the next many days, and then weeks, and then months, and then more than a year, you have liberals lying to liberals some more to cover up for all the lies they told in 2016, which really fooled a lot of liberals. So they keep on fooling liberals. That is what I'm explaining. They're not fooling us. We know they're fake news. And yes, they want to damage our side or the Trump nation and the American people. But think about how they keep on lying to their own liberal voter base. It's a lie, then more lies to cover up the lie, and now they will come up with more lies to explain why they lied about the Russia collusion. And it never ends. And so you're talking about people in ivory towers, and they're just lying to ordinary people while at the same time trying to rob them of their voices. And if that's not a definition of evil, I don't know what is. It's tyranny. These people are tyrants, and that's not who we are. That's not how our nation was formed. This is the opposite of what the founding fathers wanted from our nation. In fact, our nation exists specifically because we wanted to escape that kind of tyranny. The U.S. Constitution is what it is exactly because we wanted the opposite of that type of tyranny. But it is in human nature, I have to say, that a lot of people will gravitate towards that type of tyranny. And as you know, people that are like that are very paranoid, and they will often accuse others of being tyrants and of being evil and having all these nefarious plans. The guy in Nazi Germany, he also blamed Poland for being vicious and wanting to invade Germany. I mean, it's impossible, but yet that's what he said, and people believed it. But this was really an excuse to attack Poland. That is an example. But you have these tyrants in the ivory towers, and they accuse Trump of all kinds of crimes and tyrannical machinations and obsessions and desires, and he doesn't have that. But you know, President Trump, he really understands these people, and everything I'm saying, he knows that, and he plays on that. He trolls them with that, and he makes them do all these crazy things, and we're talking about forced errors, and he's manipulating them because their desire to snuff out the voice of the American people, or to accuse people of what they themselves are guilty of. I mean, there are tells that you can use to then do a counter strategy or counter tactics, and President Trump is a master at doing that. Because even in the past, when you start hearing liberals or Hillary or Podesta accuse President Trump of colluding with Russia, then right away you know they are the ones colluding with Russia in some way. Now it turns out, after the great Devin Nunes experience and investigation, yes, the Hillary campaign and the DNC, they paid for Trump a dossier which was compiled with the help of Russia. So it is really true. It is really a type of tell when liberals are accusing people of something. They themselves are guilty of it. Projection 101. And you have the same with racism. Now they're talking about families being separated, but this is a Democrat policy. This is something that came from Democrats, and Democrats don't want to fix it. But they're putting all the blame on President Trump, of course. But I'm telling you that if you want to get ahead in this nation and you want support, one thing is to cheat, one thing is to manipulate people using celebrities and athletes. It's one way, but it's not enough. It doesn't work. You can only manipulate that many people and for a certain period of time. But those people don't have a loyalty based on true leadership. There's no loyalty. You have people moving in a direction because they're manipulated. And on the Trump side, you have people very loyal, but it's based on reality and results. And so the Obama hype in 2008 was a good example of that. I mean, you can lie to people, you can hype someone, you can invent jobs that Obama had or how intelligent he is, and you have speeches with platitudes, but it's about manipulating the people, lying to people to get them to vote for this buffoon. And they did. But very soon after he became president, people noticed that this guy is not delivering anything. This guy's an idiot. And world leaders saw that pretty quickly. In the beginning, they treated him great. But then when they realized he was a numbnuts, like at the G8 or G20, I mean, they couldn't even talk to the guy. He knows nothing. He's always like, talk to my people, or Valerie Jarrett would talk to whoever. And world leaders quickly saw that this guy is not reliable. He's in way over his head, and he's a stuttering, bumbling buffoon. And so they started treating him like what he is, a loser. And the American people also saw that Barack Obama was a loser. Even Democrats saw that he was a loser. That's why now you don't have massive numbers of people saying, we want Obama back, he's an amazing guy. It's a small segment. Now on social media you can make even the most ridiculous fantasies become like a thing. But trust me, people that still want Obama or really say that he was great, we're talking about a very tiny fraction of people in our nation, and we call these people retards because there's no reality tied to it. And so what I'm saying is that liberals, they can manipulate people, and it works only on a small segment and for a short period of time. But if you have somebody like Trump, who actually had a job before he ran for president, and he really is a success with a proven track record of success, and he's a man of action, when you then have actual results in such a short period of time, people feel amazed because they cannot even understand how there's a so-called politician that promised something in a campaign, and then one by one he's delivering everything. I mean, it's shocking, right? And liberals are looking at that, and even though they're all hating on Trump, sometimes there's a thin line between hate and love. And I don't think it'll take much for many people to flip towards Trump. You have many black people, they love Trump before he ran for president, before the liberal lie machine started using all these pawns and tools like athletes and singers, rappers. But it doesn't take much for many people to flip from hating Trump to loving Trump. And you will see that. And it's already happening, to be honest. And that's why you're going to see a red tsunami in November, and not any type of a blue wave. It's going to be a blue swirl in a toilet, or a blue trickle, but no blue wave. And that is because, yes, reality always wins. The truth always wins. No matter how much of the media you control, you cannot hide reality. And you cannot hide the results, because seeing is believing.
All right.